Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to the Truth Talk podcast. I'm joined by D.
Hi, everybody. I hope you guys are having a great day.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the alleged Hollywood cannibal, Armie Hammer. Let's get right into it. Hollywood is looked at as one of the most desirable places in the world, a place full of riches, great weather, and most importantly, endless famous celebrities who call it their home. So many people wish they can live with the celebrities, brushing shoulders with the rich and famous, attending Hollywood parties at mega mansions. The thing is, Hollywood isn't at all what it seems to be. What most people don't know is how dark Hollywood truly is in the shadows, and how sinister some of the people in the industry really are. In today's episode, we're gonna see just how dark Hollywood can get, and just what the actor Armie Hammer is into. For those of you who don't know, Armie Hammer is a 36-year-old actor best known for acting in movies like The Social Network, The Lone Ranger, or his most recognizable role, Oliver from the movie Call Me By Your Name. Armie Hammer comes from a very wealthy and powerful family that made his money in the oil industry. His grandfather, Julian Hammer, had accumulated a massive wealth through a number of different business ventures, making a majority of his money in the oil industry. Armie will begin his acting career by booking small TV roles and eventually getting casted for a leading role in the 2008 movie Billy the Early Years. It wasn't until 2017 that Armie will start getting recognition after his role in the movie Call Me By Your Name, where he plays an adult man who falls for a 17-year-old boy. After this, Armie will start to grow his presence in the industry, getting booked for more high-profile roles. Up until then, everything was going good for the young actor, even getting nominated for a Golden Globe Award in 2018. But things started to go bad after some very disturbing allegations were made against him in 2021. On January 2021, an anonymous Instagram account by the name of House of Effie made some very revealing posts that ended up spreading all over social media. The Instagram posts were screenshots that seemed to show a conversation between Armie Hammer and another individual. The anonymous poster seems to accuse Armie of allegedly being into some very sick and disturbing things. The alleged DM messages were alarming, and if were true, would expose Armie as not only a disturbing sick man, but a literal cannibal. In one of the posts, we can see Armie asking the anonymous poster where they were because he wanted to drink their blood. In another one of his posts, he once again begs for her blood, stating that he needs it. In another post, which I found as the one that's most disturbing, we can see Armie allegedly state that he was so turned on by the idea of holding her beating heart in his hands, going on to admit that he was 100% a cannibal, literally stating that he wanted to eat her. This anonymous poster claims that Armie allegedly R-worded her and did things that she didn't agree with. The Instagram account would then go on to post more conversations between Armie and other women he had allegedly did the same things to. He allegedly told one woman that he wanted to see her brains and organs alongside of a bunch of other disturbing things. The allegations got worse when an ex-girlfriend by the name of Courtney did an interview where she claimed that Armie Hammer was actually into those sick things he was being exposed for. She said that he had a thing for flesh in his mouth and also had told her that he wanted to barbecue her ribs. More women that dated him will start to come out and expose him for his alleged desire to eat the girls he was dating.
Here at Sundance, that audience's experience, Call Me By Your Name. I wasn't in that one. It was unfortunate. Luca had asked me to play all of the Peach, but our schedules conflicted. Thank God, though, because then I would have been another woman that Armie Hammer tried to eat. Who knew cannibalism was so popular?
A model by the name of Paige also called out Armie, claiming that he was 100% serious when he told her he wanted her to remove her bottom rib so he can barbecue it. She even claims that he spoke about providing her with a doctor who would do it. She also claims that Armie carved her initials onto his skin to brand her as his. After these allegations were revealed, Armie would get dropped from the upcoming movie Shotgun Wedding he was set to star in alongside of Jennifer Lopez. All of the productions he was a part of dropped him one after the other, with his talent agency and manager both choosing to stop working with him after the news got out. Armie Hammer went on to deny the allegations, claiming it was all lies to ruin his image. Soon after, a criminal investigation started in February 2021, looking into the allegations made against Armie Hammer. The investigation would eventually be dropped, with the police stating insufficient evidence. Many people felt that Armie Hammer belonged locked away for these allegations, but it appeared he was being spared because of his family name and money. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Armie Hammer's grandfather was a very powerful businessman who was a part of the elite, being worth in the hundreds of millions. What's interesting is that Julian Hammer was also accused of similar things as Armie. Julian Hammer had actually been accused of taking out his own best friend after an argument over an old bet. Julian managed to use his power and money to get out of the situation with the police, declaring the incident self-defense. Casey, Julian Hammer's daughter, stated that this was a lie and that Julian had done the crime in cold blood, not in self-defense. It's obvious that Armie came from a Masonic family, as they were a part of high society. His grandfather had connections to the Clintons and other high officials. Armie himself recently got a revealing tattoo on his chest of a triangle that clearly represents the Masonic all-seeing eye. It's obvious that Armie is a Masonic puppet who comes from a Masonic family. It's not just Armie that is into these kind of things. I believe there's more people like him who reside in the Hollywood world, waiting for their prey. We know exactly what Armie is into. He and his family are most likely occultists. What's really shocking to me was the way he acts for blood, almost like if he was a vampire. We have seen this vampire imagery coming from a lot of people in Hollywood. Like we spoke about recently during one of my live streams, Chris Brown is one of those artists who depicts himself as a vampire throughout several of his videos. Chris Brown also shows his Masonic affiliation with the Masonic all-seeing eye, scattered throughout his work. I believe this vampire imagery represents people a part of the industry like Armie, who are into blood and blood rituals. We have seen this kind of activity before from the rapper Big Lurch, who I made a full video on that you guys can check out after this one. Even Kesha had a song where she paints herself as a cannibal. There's a dark reason Hollywood always shows this imagery, and it's because, believe it or not, things like this do happen. It's interesting for me to see how he was doing this directly on Instagram. He wasn't even trying to contact these people hiddenly or through a different type of service. He went directly on Instagram, had no fear of being exposed or being caught, directly messaged these women on a public platform, telling them these kind of disturbing things that he was into, allegedly. Allegedly, because the posts haven't been confirmed to be his, even though there's been so many women that have already come out to kind of confirm these posts. The thing is, a man like Armie Hammer, who comes from old money, who his family was rooted in politics and in high power, I don't think nothing is ever going to happen to someone like that. And I believe Armie could have possibly done worse than what he's being accused of. Who knows what he's done in secrecy? We only know what's being exposed now. And for what it appears, this man is into some sick, disturbing things.
And on top of all of that, these allegations are not just coming from women who were with him mutually or occasionally. These are coming from women who dated him on and off. They were in relationships with this man. So the stuff that they're saying potentially could be true. And the fact that he feels so open with it is just, it goes to show that he feels like he is untouchable. And that's because, like you said, the generational wealth that he comes from. With all of these women coming forward after him being interrogated, they should have looked further into this.
They sort of canceled him on the public image, and I'm pretty sure after some time he might be able to make a comeback, or maybe he won't. What should have definitely happened was, like you said, a more serious investigation to see if he had done anything criminally. And it's interesting that, like you said, it validates him more that it is these women were actually in relationships with him, not just people that he had a one-time relationship with that didn't really spend much time with him or anything like that. These are people that spend months or years with him, know him, and are validating these claims that other women are making. They feel that Armie could definitely have done something like this. We also have to think about it. For the world of Hollywood, this isn't something that's so alarming and something that's unbelievable, because we already know that those who run Hollywood are occultists, and we know that these are the type of things they practice, and we know that these are the type of things they're into in their eyes wide shut theme parties.
Definitely. The whole Marina Abramovich, that show that she put on where she had cake figured like people. I mean, what else is she trying to insinuate? It just doesn't make sense.
That's a great point. The Marina Abramovich threw these parties for these elite rich people that had people like Lady Gaga attending and a bunch of other rich people. And you can see all these people eating food that's shaped like human bodies, basically insinuating that they're sort of cannibals. Even though the food isn't real, it's just imitation and it's just supposed to represent. It still represents them being cannibals, them wanting to be able to eat people.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're trying to show us. His ex-girlfriend, the one that you brought up, the one that said that she was branded by him, she actually compared this man to being Hannibal Lecter. And if you guys know who Hannibal Lecter is, you know the type of stuff that he was into. And to compare somebody that you are in a relationship with to a person like that, you know he has to be doing some disturbing stuff. And the fact that he just felt so comfortable opening up and doing it and, being open with it to a partner that could potentially go to the world like she did and tell somebody, lets you know how much he's been influenced and how much he's been around it, that he thinks that it's okay. He thinks it's like normal and natural for him. Telling her that he can provide her with a doctor like this is just normal.
You know, I also don't think that people in the industry didn't know he was into that kind of stuff. I think that they knew that this is what he was into and this is the kind of things that he would do. And I don't think they cared until the moment that, you know, it started getting exposed. I feel like Hollywood participates in things like this. And there's a lot of people like Armie in the industry, like I said earlier, that are into these kind of things that operate in the shadows. But the reason that Armie's going to get canceled is because he got exposed for it. And at that point, it's hard to deny, especially when they're posting messages where he's talking about eating people and all type of weird things like this. To me, it just proves that these people have each other's back until they can't no longer. And when it comes to that point, they just throw them to the wolves. And it's what I feel like is happening to Armie Hammer. But he also didn't face any criminal charges, even though the people that came out to expose him are pretty sure that this is what he did. And he could still be possibly doing it to others right now, you know?
Definitely. Who knows what he's done to other people? Who knows what he's done to women who have not been in relationships with him? Having the power that he has, he could have intimidated people not to want to even say nothing or come forth. And to have these women that did, it is surprising and shocking, but that doesn't mean that we should brush it off nevertheless, especially considering the fact that it's not just one or two, it's been quite a few women who have come out and said the same thing. I definitely have to agree with you about believing that everybody there in Hollywood does it. I feel the same way. I feel like that's why he feels so open and okay with saying it, because he grew up in this type of industry. He grew up seeing this stuff so for him, growing up around this his whole entire life, that type of behavior is natural. That type of behavior is okay. He was just not expecting for somebody to view it in a different way and then for it to be coming out to us.
I definitely don't think he was expecting to be exposed because of the power and the money. And I'm pretty sure all those women that he got with were already a part of this industry, were already used to, you know, men like this. And I think that they might have had a personal reason to come out and expose him. And that's the reason why he got exposed to begin with. But honestly, unless he was just reckless, contacting random women who are not a part of this world to join them in these strange activities, I don't see those women not being a part of that system, you know? Could he have done something to this woman to make her mad and make her want to expose him? That could be a possibility. You know, it's interesting as well with the tattoo that he got. How does he explain that tattoo? What's the point of just tattooing a random triangle to his chest? It's obviously a Masonic reference. And the fact that we see so many celebrities with this vampire imagery, I just feel like it points to exactly this, like I said earlier. I feel like there's more people that are probably even meet together to do this together. You know, he defends himself by saying that these are just his fantasies and it wasn't something that he was really gonna do, that he wasn't really doing things like this. And, you know, I'm not buying that at all because at the beginning he tries to deny the allegation. To me, I just see this as another example of the sick people that are in Hollywood. The sick people that run Hollywood and what these people are truly into. Well, that's it for this video. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Goodbye, everybody. I hope you guys have a great day.
I just want to give a special shout out to the Truth Movement members. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to further support the channel, join the Truth Movement, or you can join me on Patreon where I drop exclusive videos monthly. The link would be in the description. Another way you can further support the channel is by checking out the Truth Fish store and seeing if you find anything you like. Every purchase you make goes directly to helping the channel and furthering Truth Records. Also, please leave a comment on your thoughts below and on any future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when I drop new videos. If you like this video, please leave a like as it helps other people find these videos. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram and follow me there for more truth. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.